this is Stephanie, Talk Tales and Trivia. How are you this fabulous week of 2017? I hope you're doing well. This episode is about nostalgia, memories, moments, what we cherish the most. Let us begin, as always, here at Talk Tales and Trivia with a definition from dictionary.com, where we find nostalgia to mean a wistful desire to return in thought or in fact to a former time in one's life, to one's home or homeland, or to one's family and friends, a sentimental yearning for the happiness of a former place or time. Some listeners of Talk Tales and Trivia may have noticed that lately the episodes have brought about some nostalgia for me. Events that happened when I was very young, or events that happened only about 5 days ago. Recently, listening to a song that I feel some connection to brought nostalgia about. Yes, just the other day, I heard the song Jealous Guy by Roxy Music. Well, of course, we all know it is a remake of the John Lennon song. Just hearing the song brought tears to my eyes. This bewildered me, but I knew it had more to do with a memory associated with that particular song. A sense of something from long ago triggered this, and I was overcome with emotion. Not bad, no, nor good, but it was still emotional. Why did this happen? If the feeling is bittersweet, though ultimately pleasant, you have most likely experienced nostalgia. The website Science Friday states that when you're nostalgic about something, there's a little bit of a sense of loss. The moment has happened, it's gone. But usually the net result is happiness. Nostalgic memories typically entail cherished, personal moments such as those spent with loved ones. Those memories in turn inspire positive feelings of joy, high self-regard, belonging, and meaningfulness in life. It is suggested that most of us probably wax nostalgic at least a few times a month, and often more than once a week. For me, I can be driving and pass a town or place that might trigger a bad or good nostalgic memory. This was noted recently while passing by a particular beach an ex and I used to go to on the weekends. 15 years ago. Well, that wasn't a good memory. A matter of fact, it made me a little nauseous. Let's move on. Another nostalgic memory happened for me around Christmas time this year. It's a little complicated, so stick with me on this. You see, this year my Christmas tree had colored lights. In all my adult years, I have never put up a tree with colored lights. But this year, something changed. Then I realized what it was. While burning a candle, I realized I chose the scent of mistletoe, which in turn brought back nostalgic memories of my childhood when we had a real Douglas fir tree covered in colored lights in my home at Christmas. Fond memories flooded my thoughts once again as I remembered that fresh smell of the real Christmas tree with the beautiful lights. Even something as simple as playing a game from the past, like Mastermind, which I played all the time when I was a kid, can be nostalgic. Finding an old jigsaw puzzle in the attic and having the desire to put it together once again, that happened to me too. Any of these things can evoke the nostalgic memories and moments of the past. As I mentioned in last week's episode, I have been actually framing some of those photos I took from years ago. Photos of when I was in Germany, my first cat, me and my first Jeep Wrangler. And this. More recently, while going through my closet, buried behind my recent purchases, I found a dress I bought especially for my trip to Sweden back in 2010. The feel of the fabric, the style of the dress, and even the smaller size brought back those specific, beautiful, nostalgic memories of where I was when I wore that dress. The hotel restaurant, Skeppsholm Bridge, and the beautiful view that looked toward Gamla Stan. That's the old town. Have you ever been at a restaurant and saw an entree, dessert, or even a particular wine on the menu that brings back a fond or not so fond memory? I have. You see, it can be almost anything that triggers those nostalgic memories. But for me, my 5 senses bring back those dormant nostalgic memories. Sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing can bring you to another time in your life that you have maybe forgotten. Hopefully, it's a good time, a good moment, a good nostalgic memory in your life. And perhaps I'm looking for those past nostalgic moments to fill a needed gap in my mind. Or probably just to have gratitude for those nostalgic memories, much needed lesson learned type moments. One morning not so long ago, I woke up so excited about a dream. This was the kind of dream that brings in people from the past, lots of laughing and smiling, and kind of unusual things happening. Happy things, but sometimes bizarre or weird. You know what I mean. And at least for the moment, I recalled in my dream saying over and over again the words, I am 27. I am 27. I am 27. I am 27. Many times. Yes, I actually did jump up and feverishly write down the whole dream as I remembered it. And it was beautiful. But what struck me was the fact that in the dream, I kept affirming the fact that I was 27. This realization, I think, was stunning because when I was 27, I had an unforgettable year. My best year so far. A very memorable year filled with small, beautiful, bittersweet, nostalgic moments. I was hopeful, full of life and love, and for the first time, doing what I really desired. For days, months, and even recently, I remember the pleasant moments in this dream and what I was doing when I was 27. Yes, I catch myself reliving those nostalgic moments of the past once again. But there's more. How about seeing a yearbook photo? Do you wax nostalgia when you look at yourself and friends and remember doing specific activities together? I do. Maybe a movie. I know that in my mind's eye, I see Molly Ringwald in Pretty in Pink. That always brings me to nostalgic moments in the 1980s, my informative years, for sure. The music of the Psychedelic Furs singing that famous Pretty in Pink song. And how about this one? For the past 2 months, I've had the inclination to play Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love. Now, I don't really know why that is, but for me, this moment brings with it a sad, nostalgic feeling, a moment that I wished had never happened. The moment Elvis Presley passed away. Yes, it is sad because of the many things that he must have been going through and dealing with at the time. How young he was. Way too young. I even knew that back then. I also remember exactly where I was when I heard the news and what I was wearing and where I was going on that awful evening of August 16th, 1977. Even though sometimes I am saddened, I now embrace the nostalgic moments, for maybe there is a lesson or reason in having that nostalgic moment. I welcome those moments and truly hope I'm gaining something useful from those nostalgic scenes and feelings. For, as we know, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. We here at Talk Tales and Trivia would love to know about your nostalgic moments in life. Be grateful for those nostalgic moments and perhaps write these fond memories down and remember to cherish them forever. As you know, you can always share them with us at talktalesandtrivia@gmail.com, and you can go to talktalesandtrivia.com to listen to all of our episodes. There you will also find in the show notes fantastic links to some of the items mentioned in that episode. That is it for Talk Tales and Trivia for this week. Our research team is working diligently right now on our next topic for the next week's show. We will see you then, and have a fantastic week. See ya!